Hello, friends, and welcome to Crow's Thrifty Finds, the very first episode. So, welcome to my channel. Brand new. My name is Melanie, and I'm here to talk about the fine art of reselling. So, a little bit about myself. I have been a reseller for about 13 years on eBay, exclusively at this time. I started out with quite a bit of credit card debt that I wanted to take care of. And I found that eBay made a great side hustle, and I started buying and reselling designer clothes. And I had some really good thrift stores back when I lived in Florida. And with the help of eBay, I was able to completely get out of credit card debt. So I've learned how wonderful of a side hustle that eBay can really be. So nowadays, I sell basically anything and everything. So toys is kind of my favorite category to sell in, but I will sell whatever I can to make money. So today I want to focus on 12 items that are selling well on eBay as of late. So these are items that either I myself have purchased on eBay for a decent amount of money because my kids were demanding them, or items that I personally have obtained and sold. So let's get into it. So number one is bar mats. Kind of an unusual item. People might see them at garage sales and just kind of pass them up. But here's the thing. Most people that are selling them at garage sales are willing to let go of them for pretty cheap. I've been picking them up for, 50 cents to $1 each. And just depending on, what brand is on the bar mat will kind of depend on how much you can get. But you get a pair, especially, you lot them up, and you can make some pretty good money. Mine have been selling for around $30 for a pair of bar mats. So it's something that you can pick up for cheap that you can flip for a good amount of money. So item number two is kind of a combination of items. And these are items that I purchased on eBay because my child was asking for them because he watches YouTube. I have a 5-year-old and he loves YouTube. And he was asking for these Disney Cars 2 toys. He was asking for extra large, who's broken, and Banshee. So this is Banshee right here, and normally this thing goes up here, but 5-year-olds. So this guy sells for a lot of money on eBay, as you can see. So he is a fantastic pickup if you see him at a yard sale or a garage sale. So definitely do not overlook him. I paid an embarrassing amount to have him because my son just had to have him for Christmas. So bit the bullet on eBay, but I would pick up one of these in a second again to resell because these are really hard to find. And this is extra large, Colossus extra large. He sells for a little less than Banshee, but he's also pretty in demand. And both of them suck up these teeny little cars vehicles, so that's kind of neat. But yes, look for him. Also, he's a great pickup. So the third item I want to talk about is Monster High. Now, this probably doesn't come as a big surprise to anybody who's a seasoned reseller. Monster High dolls are hot right now. Bratz, same thing. But what's unique about these two items is sometimes the accessories go for more than the dolls. So everyone's after the dolls, but I went to a garage sale recently, picked up, I don't even remember how many Monster High stands, like 50 or something, a large amount. And I sold them for over $100. So don't sleep on the stands. They're an absolute must pick up. Also with Bratz, I've done really well with clothes lots for Bratz. So I'll build a lot if I just see a few clothes, in a baggie at a thrift store, in a little sandwich bag. But the more the better. People will buy them. People want them. People want to clothe their Bratz dolls that they've already purchased. So this is a must a must pick up. You want to pick up the clothes. You want to pick up the stands for the Monster High dolls. Monster High clothes can do well also, just depending on the doll. So these are all great things that you want to pick up. Item number 4. Item number 4 is Lisa Frank. I know there's other resellers in the YouTube world that are talking about Lisa Frank, and I back them up 110%. Vintage Lisa Frank sells wonderfully. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a notepad, it could be a coloring book, it could be a pencil, it could be anything. If it's vintage Lisa Frank, pick it up. The tricky thing is now, Walmart, I know, sold a newer version of Lisa Frank that is not valuable, but they look really similar. So you just have to be careful that what you're picking up is truly vintage. So that's the warning I want to give you with Lisa Frank, because the newer Lisa Frank is not valuable like the vintage. So I just want to show this pickup that I have right here. Now this is a vintage Lisa Frank stamp box, and I just lost my little notepad. But there are quite a few things in here. Stamp set, markers, notepad. There's stickers at the bottom. And this is vintage. And right now, this box is listed for right around $100. And I literally bought this for 15 cents at a garage sale. So buy Lisa Frank. It's worth it. Yes, this hasn't sold yet, but there's a lot of interest, and I just picked this up the other day. So there's time. Price it right. It might take a few days to sell, but somebody will buy it because people love Lisa Frank. So item number 5 are blow molds. Blow molds are hot right now. Any size blow molds, any season, any theme, people want them. Although I find the more unique the theme is on the blow mold, the better even, because there's so many Santa Claus blow molds out there too, you know. But I recently sold a Budweiser Spuds McKenzie blow mold that did very, very well. And, you know, once I saw my eyes on it at the thrift store, I was like, yep, got to pick that up. So yes, blow molds all day long. Pick them up. Obviously, you know, double check, do your homework, make sure you're buying something that's valuable, but chances are really good if you see a blow mold, regardless of size, it will sell for something. So just make sure that the price that's being offered for it is the right price. That's the only warning I want to give there. Just make sure that your profit ratio is worth it. But other than that, go for it. Item number 6 is 35 millimeter camera film. I see this often at thrift stores. They're usually not expensive at all. They're usually expired. But the good news is with 35 millimeter film, it doesn't matter if it's expired. It will sell and somebody will buy it. And every time I've picked up film, it's sold within a week. So if you see 35 millimeter film, especially the major brands, you know, like Kodak and Fuji, pick those up. Next, I want to talk about Power Rangers. So Power Rangers, there's so many Power Rangers things. There's vintage, there's new. Power Rangers has been around since the 90s, and it's not stopping. It's been around. So, but I want to highlight specifically vintage Power Rangers. So vintage Power Rangers, the figures, you know, the smaller ones, they do okay if you lot them. But what I like to look for are those random little weapons. There's random little pieces that go on your wrist. I can kind of show you some on the screen. But a lot of the times these are in yard sale, like toy boxes with a bunch of other random stuff. Usually they're like 50 cents. And you know, you're going to make money on those. But I think that's something that a lot of people pass by that I never do. And I'd recommend to anybody to just focus on those small toy boxes and see what you find. Number 8, Homies. Do you all remember Homies? Maybe some of you do, maybe some of you don't. Homies are those teeny little figures that kind of look like they're on the streets. They're supposed to look, you know, tough. And those little guys, you lot them up, you sell them, they do great. And again, these are really small. You'll usually see them in sandwich bags, but don't overlook them. And some people at garage sales know a little bit about homies. I had to pay up for some recently. I still made money, but you know, people out there have caught on that homies are kind of valuable. But I would definitely recommend looking into homies. Number 9, Lilliput Lane. Lilliput Lane is a company from England, and they make these little village cottages. And I was lucky enough to obtain 2 of them at Salvation Army. Now, these 2 were not in good condition. They were all busted up and broken, one more so than the other, but they both sold for very good amounts, because I believe these are pretty rare, and especially if you're a US seller, because I think a lot of them are selling from overseas. So people want these. I believe one of mine went overseas when I sold it, and then one went locally. But if you're doing global shipping on eBay, you know, it works. So I just randomly checked these. Something about them screamed quality to me, and I paid $5 for each one and profited greatly. And I feel like this is something that a lot of people would just look over, and you don't hear people talking about these on the reseller channels, at least not that I have seen. So I would encourage you all to be on the lookout for village type figures. And of course, there's other types of village figures that are very profitable as well. You've got your Department 56, you've got your Lemex, I think it's pronounced, Lemax. I am not 100% sure how that's pronounced, but Lemax, it's a thing. So any of that villagey kind of stuff, you know, whether it be Christmas village or just any time of the year village, look for villages. Villages are good. Item number 10, kind of a more unique item, not something everybody seeks out, but I was at a garage sale, actually I think it was an estate sale recently, and I picked up some marble bookends, and they were in the shape of a mushroom, and it got me curious to what bookends go for, and depending on the material, bookends can sell for a lot. So be on the lookout for bookends, especially ones that are made out of nicer materials. You know, you've got your, you know, marble bookends, or maybe it's a certain theme that's popular that makes bookends. But bookends can be overlooked, but I would encourage you to not overlook them. Number 11, I have some of them down here. They're listed right now on eBay. I just put them up last night. And I think this is still kind of a little bit of a secret in the reseller community, because I don't hear a lot of people talking about them. But I'm not even sure if I'm calling them exactly the right thing, but I melted popcorn pieces, vintage pieces, decorations. So these things sell fantastic in lots. They sell okay by themselves, and usually they're pretty cheap to pick up, you know, 50 cents, $1. This one was 50 cents. This one was $2. And then this one was $2. And the cat by itself sells for about $26, $27. But you lot them together and they sell for, you know, about $50. So it's good to get more than one. I always say safety in numbers, and lotting is good for many, many items, especially these. So also want to highlight that if you find a more unique melted popcorn piece, that could be even more valuable. You know, if it's a certain theme or a character, it's not holiday based, that stuff sells fantastic also. People just want these. It's that vintage nostalgia that they remember on their grandma's door that they just have to have. So Bolo is right here. Be on the lookout. And last but not least, item number 12, I find that, and maybe this one's a little more obvious, but I find that Godzilla sells great. Whether it be vintage or modern, you can pretty much not go wrong with Godzilla as long as you're getting the newer stuff cheap enough. But vintage Godzilla sells fantastic. Doesn't matter really what exactly Godzilla it is. It sells really, really well. So that's the list. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was educational and informal. I did recently get a GoPro camera, and I am going to try to do some garage sale / thrift store footage for future episodes of this, but I just wanted to kind of throw these helpful tips out there for my new watchers, for my new channel. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to my channel and share it to anybody you know that may be interested. I would love to have you watch. So thank you for watching. And again, my name is Melanie. I'll see you soon.